Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely and long for that heavenly home when Yahweh is my portion, a constant friend is he. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. It is praying time. Lord, you said if your people who are called by your name will humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways, then they shall hear from heaven. Coming close to your will, but right now, Lord, it's praying time. It's praying time around this entire world. You know, about 3 years ago, I tried to speak to Bobbie Kristina. Some may have taken it as a joke, but it came from my heart and also came from the will of God. The Lord Yahweh told me to call out her name. I called her name. I was the instrument being used by the Almighty, sovereign and powerful and one and only righteous God. Regardless of the sins of our parents, guardians, caretakers, best friends, everybody got a cross to bear. Everybody had something that they're gonna have to really work at crossing over. We're living in some serious times and always have. Things have not changed. There's nothing new under the sun. But know this, every man's turn shall come. We're dealing with the Brown and Houston's situation. That's not the only situation that is going on, the only family problem. They're going on throughout this entire world. But the highlight right now is on them. This baby, Bobbie Kristina Brown, unfortunately, she was exposed to a lot. She still had a choice. She was still responsible for making decisions that would benefit her and keep her out of danger. I say this. Right now, everyone needs to be on the same page with their family. And that is, we need to be praying and asking the Lord to do it once again. He, and only Him, He can move mountains. God is a good God, and God is a powerful God. I am so speechless. I'm upset. And I have so many questions that needs to be answered. And I thank the Lord, because being in this place and in this position, it gives me an opportunity to be on the outside looking in. And that's where my questions come in. I personally, I just cannot see having all of the advantages that the personalities in Hollywood and those of that statue, that they have opportunities that they're not maximizing. They're just acting like big immature children. There are plans to be established and executed, and the Lord is not pleased. He's not pleased with mankind once again. 3 years ago, when I spoke to Bobbie Kristina, Whitney Houston had just crossed over, and like I said then, I say now, she is just such a spiritual dear sister. They have spiritual ties to me because I know that they seeked the almighty, sovereign, and most powerful entity. I felt them. I know that they did. And because of that, I still have a soul tied to this situation here. I personally, I believe so strongly in the Lord Yahweh, that whatever Yahweh wants to do, whatever His will, I'm serious. I am just bold enough to believe that He can move mountains. Life lived because of Him. We exist because of Him. My heart goes out to this family. However, man, I know Sissy Houston is just so at the point of wanting this to be over, in a sense. Not that she is heartless to her granddaughter's condition. Oh, this woman just know God, and it's just been so much tied into this. I realize that there is a way to reach each other. Hopefully you will get it, and if it's the will of the Lord Yahweh, you will get it. I'm saying to the family, me personally, I'll fight with everything I got. And however it goes, I see what Bobbie is going through. Bobbie Kristina's father, Bobby Brown. I see what he's going through. I can empathize with him. I can see where my son, eldest son, who I gave birth to back in 1975, crossed over when he was 22 years old. And had I been there, I would have fought just as hard or harder being a mother. And I'm just so surprised with Bobby Brown being a father that, he just have some serious maternal tendency to just really not disconnect. That's some serious strong vibes with him and his seed. To much is given, much is required. Standard of living is what I'm saying. And when so much is given to an individual, that individual has to follow the dialogue to a wholesome, enriched life that only Yahweh can give. And we're going to have to stand up to some accountability for everything. For my son crossing over at 22, I'm still dealing with that daily. It just doesn't go away. And with this situation with this baby now, I say to the Brown and Houston family, oh my God, for the sake of all of us who are not in the position that y'all are into, and y'all can make a difference, make a hell of an impact, let this be a very powerful, legendary, glorified story. And I'm praying because I know Yahweh is able. And I know that if He chose, and I pray, oh my gosh, I want it so, that He would choose life for Bobbie Kristina. And everything that everyone said that is impossible becomes the possible. Simply because this world needs hope. I mean, some serious hope. There's so much going on here in this place that we exist and live in, that we got to line up. We got to put on the full armor of God. The full armor. And wherever we are, we got to represent. This is not an option. This is a commandment. This has to happen. Because it's a big thing going on. It's a big explosion. And right now, Bobbie Brown, I know that your daughter have seen the video that I produced about 3 years ago. I don't get on here bold. I don't. I get on here humbly, like, what am I doing? And all of that. But I get on here because this word need to get out. And it need to get out to these children. And as long as I have breath in my body, however I can get it out, I'm going to be bold enough, because the Lord says, if you be ashamed of Him, He will be ashamed of us, deny us. I'm not going to have the rocks to cry out in my name. I'm going to speak to the community, to the children. And Whitney Houston said, and so do I. And I will always love you. Will always love you. I'll always love you. Yahweh, I will always love you. Man, I tell you, I got the smarts. But we got to have the heart.